Our great coach on this episode is Joe Montemuro. Joe is a soccer coach who has led teams to championship wins in Australia, England, France, and Italy, and is at present the coach of the Australian national team known as the Matildas. In our interview, Joe talks about the way he uses language to cut across cultures and simplify the message so that the team is ultimately able to self-guide itself. His leadership is centred on the idea of honesty, humility, and selflessness, and we go into each of those and how they shape his overall coaching philosophy. We also talk about his coaching journey and how he has shifted over time from being more emotional to someone who is more calm and able to respond to the situation that's presented in front of him. It's a great interview with a coach who's focused on building environments where people feel safe and valued and therefore able to perform at their best. Here are some of the highlights of our discussion.
Allow them the space to take in the information that's needed to make better decisions in the game. I suppose there's a little bit of a balance to that. Because there are some of the top coaches in the world that have done a lot that do yell and scream a lot. It's probably just not my style. I was the luckiest person in the world. I grew up in an amazing family. I had amazing role models in my parents, and obviously, probably know better than me, the story of Italian immigration in Australia is one of obviously success, and they've given a lot to the community, and I think that word is so important, that community that we created, and then obviously the next generations assimilated really well into culture here in Australia. I don't like wasting time. I don't like wasting time at training. I don't like wasting any valuable moments by them listening to me talk with copious amounts of information. But to get the message across and to get those clear messages across, that takes a lot of filtering, a lot of planning, but more importantly, making sure that the players understand their journey, what we're trying to achieve. And that for me is the big thing. And you don't have to do it with a lot of words. You can just do it with good training design and the ability for the players to discover certain things within that session. But obviously you creating the parameters in terms of the design of what you want to achieve. So I always, especially now, with national team training where you don't have them for a long time, it has to be the session. It just can't be a session. It feels good too. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to be selfless. And honesty comes from my perspective, it comes from an instinctive belief in who you are as a person, but also that you are trying to do what's best for the person that you're being honest with. So for me, it's an important value, and honesty is difficult. It's difficult because you've got to sometimes say certain things that people might not want to hear. But I think it's really important that once you are honest, that people need to understand that it's coming from a position of wanting to do what's best for the organisation, or what's wanting to do best for the individual. And you've sometimes got to filter that honesty. Sometimes, and why I say that is because you actually want that honesty to come to some sort of effect. You want it to be actionable. You want people to say, okay, I'm being honest that we're not doing A, B, and C. How do we action it? How do we go about it? How do we find that solution? They're important values, and I think you can't go forward if there isn't a sense of people in your organisation that are safe, that you create a safe environment for people to be honest and at least say what they're feeling in the moment. And I think where teams go off the rail is probably they don't have a clear direction and identity of what they want to be and who they are. And that's a big one for me. That's a big one for me because what it does, it allows us to analyse. So we're analysing a game. We analyse it through what we're looking for, and they're clear on what they're looking for instead of other things which could take you on another journey, which are probably useless. I think it's like everything. It's having everyone on that same journey and speaking that same language and asking the questions and seeing what we want to do through a direction that we've decided that we're all on for that journey.
If you'd like to hear our whole interview with Joe, then you can use these QR codes to access the podcast.